And now for our next news special report.
And now we're diving into a troubling display that's shaking the core of our nation's leadership. Imagine the leader of the free world caught in a whirlwind of confusion and rage, publicly unraveling over a narrative that's been thoroughly debunked. We're not just talking about a minor gaffe or a slip of the tongue. This is about President Joe Biden exploding in what can only be described as senile rage, clinging to a false story about Donald Trump, a story so discredited it's become a symbol of the desperation and disarray plaguing our political discourse. This isn't just a story about a politician losing his cool. It's a stark, unsettling glimpse into the mental state of the man at the helm of our great republic. So stay with us as we unravel this alarming situation. And trust me, you don't want to miss the final thought that will leave you questioning the very pillars of our leadership. Before we delve deeper into our special report, we do need to face a harsh reality. Just like Joe Biden's public meltdown over a debunked Trump story, the truth often gets twisted by those in power. They thrive in chaos, letting problems fester. If you're ready to face this truth, head over to preparewithgary.com. Get $60 off a vital 4-week emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply, America's largest preparedness company. These meals, sealed for up to 25 years, provide over 2,000 calories a day. And in times of crisis, be ready with My Patriot Supply. So visit preparewithgary.com. Say it with me, preparewithgary.com. And order by 3 p.m. for free same-day shipping. Don't wait for chaos. Prepare now. Now, America, we're facing a crisis that goes beyond politics, beyond party lines. It's about the very fabric of our leadership. Joe Biden, the President of the United States, recently gave us a disturbing glimpse in what appears to be a deteriorating state of mind, a moment that has left many of us questioning the fitness and competency of our commander-in-chief. So this isn't about a simple misstep or an innocent blunder. We witnessed President Biden in a public forum lashing out in what can only be characterized as a senile rage over a thoroughly discredited story about former President Donald Trump. Now, the story, debunked time and time again, involves Trump allegedly insulting fallen American soldiers. Yeah, I'm sure Trump did that. In a stunning display of anger and confusion that you're about to witness, Biden repeated the slanderous narrative. Donald Trump, when he was commander-in-chief, refused to visit a cemetery. Yeah, that's what Biden claimed. He refused. Right? Wait till you see what he says. Watch.
Donald Trump, when he was commander-in-chief, refused to visit a cemetery, U.S. cemetery outside of Paris for fallen American soldiers. And he referred to those heroes, and I quote, as suckers and losers. He actually said that. He said that. How dare he say that? How dare he talk about my son and all of us rest like that?
So the gravity of the accusation is not lost on us. It's a serious charge, one that could tarnish the reputation of any leader. But here's the catch. It's a claim that's been proven false. In fact, it was former White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany who meticulously debunked this narrative. In a press briefing, she highlighted the falsehood of the Atlantic's reporting. 10 sources went on the record debunking these lies, 8 with firsthand knowledge, stating on the record one common truth: the story is false and never happened. She went on to praise Trump's unwavering commitment to our military veterans and members of the United States Armed Forces. The question that arises, why would a leader of Biden's experience latch on to a disproven narrative? What does it say about his judgment, or worse, his mental acuity? Of course, he's only spreading misinformation. Let's watch the Kayleigh McEnany shredding this narrative.
So the president is bringing back the hottest economy in modern history. Today's job numbers are proof. There were 1.4 million jobs added in August, beating expectations. Unemployment fell by 1.8%, also beating expectations. Now nearly 50% of job losses since March have been reversed, a clear V-shaped recovery. Also, I want to address what is quite clearly fake news. The story in The Atlantic has been categorically debunked by eyewitnesses and contemporaneous documents. The Atlantic claims, quote, when President Trump canceled a visit to the Aisne-Marne American Cemetery near Paris in 2018, he blamed rain for the last-minute decision, according to The Atlantic, saying the helicopter couldn't fly and that Secret Service wouldn't drive him there. Neither claim was true, says The Atlantic. That has been debunked. Behind me, you will see an email from one of the president's military aides that clearly reads, "We are a bad weather call for today's lift." The Atlantic reporting is based on 4 cowardly anonymous sources who probably do not even exist. Meanwhile, within hours, 10 sources, 10, went on the record debunking these lies, 8 with firsthand knowledge, stating on the record one common truth, that this story is false. It never happened. Adding to the 8 that were previously counted, I'm bringing you 2 new ones. One is from Derek Lyons, Staff Secretary and Counselor to the President, who says this: "I was with the President the morning after the scheduled visit. He was extremely disappointed that arrangements could not be made to get him to the site and that the trip had been canceled. I have worked for the President for his entire administration. One of my responsibilities is working with him on the many letters he signs to the families of our nation's fallen heroes. In all my time at the White House," Derek writes, "I have never heard him utter a disparaging remark of any kind about our troops. In my view, he holds the brave men and women of our armed forces in the highest regard." I also bring to you today another quote from a former member of this administration, Dan Walsh, Deputy Chief of Staff, former Deputy Chief of Staff, who is also a retired military officer. I got off the phone with Dan just before coming out here, and he wanted me to share with you all, "I can attest to the fact that there was a bad weather call in France and that the helicopters were unable to safely make the flight. Overall, the President's support and respect for our American troops, past and present, is unquestionable." And Dan recounted to me several events he went on with the President, like a World War II veteran who flew with the President on the helicopter in Normandy, visits the President had with our wounded warriors, special ops teams who came to the Oval Office, including the team that got al-Baghdadi, and they brought along Conan, the dog, as well. He met with families at the Army-Navy game. He does this routinely. And at the World Series, when he got an opportunity to go watch the Nationals, he brought veterans with him. And I can tell you from what I've seen from this President, I have heard him describe his visits to Walter Reed in detail, and the angst he has had and the compassion he has had and the hurt he has had viewing these warriors who have been absolutely injured in the line of duty and are courageous heroes. And I've heard him recount how meaningful those visits are. I've also seen him just a day before this article came up talk about there was rain and lightning popping around, and he said, "I want to go out there and I want to talk to our World War II veterans. This is America's greatest generation," and the President holds them in the highest of regards. So why would a publication abandon all journalistic integrity and publish this story? It's because the liberal activists at the Atlantic are uninterested in the truth, and they are only interested in peddling conspiracy-laden propaganda. Because here is the one truth. No one, and I mean no one, loves and cares for our servicemen and women as much as President Donald J. Trump. Thank you.
Amen. Brian, can we play the clip of Biden again? I want to contrast what we just saw from Kayleigh McEnany at the White House with the outrageous remarks of Joe Biden continuing to peddle this falsehood. Let's watch.
Donald Trump, when he was commander-in-chief, refused to visit a cemetery, U.S. cemetery outside of Paris for fallen American soldiers. And he referred to those heroes, and I quote, as suckers and losers. He actually said that. He said that. How dare he say that? How dare he talk about my son and all of us like that?
Unbelievable. Unreal. But my friends, this wasn't the only alarming moment from Biden's appearance in South Carolina. The president, known for his gaffes, seemed particularly off-kilter. This time his speech was not just riddled with inaccuracies, but also marked by a troubling inability to articulate coherent thoughts. Brian, let's get clip 3. Here we go.
Asylum officers and over 100 cutting-edge inspection machines to help detect and stop fentanyl coming on our southwest border.
What? Wait, play it one more time. What?
Asylum officers and over 100 cutting-edge inspection machines to help detect and stop fentanyl coming on our southwest border.
In the clip, Biden appears to stumble over his words, speech slurred and disjointed. It's a painful watch, not just for the content, but for what it implies about his mental state. Now, this isn't about scoring political points. It's about the safety and stability of our nation. When the leader of the free world can't communicate effectively, can't distinguish fact from fiction, we all have reason to be concerned. And it didn't stop there. Biden's night was peppered with moments that left many scratching their heads. Here's another clip.
Greedflation, shrinkflation. You see that article about the Snickers bars? Well, it's going to stop. America, we're tired of being played for suckers.
In another instance, Biden made a bizarre reference. You saw to Snickers bars, a comment that was as confusing as it was irrelevant. This kind of erratic behavior raises questions about his ability to lead. And then there was the attempted humor, which fell flat and only added to the awkwardness of the evening. Here's another one.
Folks, if I were smart, I'd say thank you and leave.
Jokes are a part of politics, but when they come from a place of confusion rather than wit, they lose their charm and become a cause for concern. And beyond these bewildering moments, there's the issue of Biden's claims about his son, Beau. Remember this?
Soldiers of campaign learned to scale rock, ski, and survive, preparing for the war they were about to fight. The pivotal moment came, as the senator pointed out, in February 1945. A surprise Allied attack on the mountains in Italy. Imagine, it's pitch black, punishing cold. The mission, high in the mountains, that hinged on the skill, strength, and stamina that could have only been gained in a place like this. They're more than ready. They were more than ready that day and since then. American soldiers of the 10th Mountain Division scaled that 1,800-foot cliff at night, caught the Germans by surprise, captured key positions, and broke through the German defense line at a pivotal point in the war. Just imagine, I mean it sincerely, I say this as a father of a man who won the Bronze Star, the Conspicuous Service Medal, and lost his life in Iraq. Imagine the courage, the daring, and the genuine sacrifice they all made.
Biden has previously stated his son died in Iraq, a claim that's factually incorrect. Beau Biden passed away from brain cancer after returning from his military service. While Joe Biden attributes his son's illness to toxic burn pits in Iraq, the misrepresentation of his son's death is just unsettling. All these incidents paint a picture of a man who is not just politically out of touch, but seems to be struggling with the basic aspects of communication and truth. It's a worrying sign for anyone sitting in the Oval Office. Again, this is not a matter of partisan bickering. It's a matter of national security and the integrity of our republic. We rely on our president not just for policy and leadership, but for clarity, stability, and truth. When these fundamental qualities are in question, it's time for a serious reflection and action. As we look towards the future, particularly the 2024 election, these incidents will undoubtedly weigh heavily on the minds of voters. The contrast between Biden's erratic behavior and Trump is clear. Decisive leadership will be at the forefront. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. Now, tonight's report isn't just about a series of gaffes or misstatements. It's about the sobering reality of leadership in crisis. Joe Biden's recent public display, his rage over a debunked Trump hoax, his struggle to articulate coherent thoughts, and his misrepresentation of facts, these are more than just senior moments. They are glaring red flags. As Americans, we place our trust in the president to lead with clarity, strength, and truth. When these pillars are shaken, it's not just a personal failure, it's a national concern. This isn't just about political allegiance, it's about the fundamental capability to lead our great republic. As we witness these troubling signs from the Oval Office, it's a stark reminder of the importance of mental acuity and truthfulness in our highest office. Every American should be asking, is this the leadership we deserve, or is it time for a change?
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.